Have you ever felt totally stuck, like you want to make a big change in your life, but you just can't seem to get it to stick? Well, what if I told you that real, lasting change doesn't have to be this long, painful process? What if it could happen in an instant? Today, we're diving into the core ideas from Tony Robbins' classic, Awaken the Giant Within, and we're going to give you the exact tools for making that change happen right now.
Okay, let's start right here, because this one idea, it's the foundation for everything else. It totally flips the script. It means that it doesn't matter where you are right now, what's happened in your past, or what your circumstances look like. You hold the keys. Your destiny isn't some fixed thing. It's being shaped moment by the decisions you make.
And this is the big problem, isn't it? It's that huge gap between knowing and doing. We all know we should probably eat healthier, or exercise, or stop putting things off. The information is out there. But actually doing it? That's a whole other ballgame. This whole system we're talking about today is designed to do one thing: close that gap for good.
So what's the secret sauce? What's the catalyst? It's making a real decision. And look, there's a big difference here. A real decision isn't just saying, I'd like to lose weight. A real decision is proven by a new action. If you haven't taken a new action, you haven't really decided. You've just kind of stated a preference. When you truly decide, you cut off all other possibilities. That is the master key.
So if making a real decision is the engine that drives change, what's the fuel? Well, it turns out every single thing we do is controlled by these two invisible forces. Once you understand them, you can finally get in the driver's seat of your own life.
This is it, the master principle behind all human behavior. Seriously, think about anything you do. Why do you put off a difficult task? Because in that moment, your brain links more pain to doing it than to avoiding it. Why do you scroll on your phone? Because you're seeking the little hit of pleasure it gives you. This force is running your life right now, whether you know it or not.
And here's what we get to the good stuff, the solution. To change anything, you have to consciously rewire what you link pain and pleasure to. You want to stop procrastinating? You need to link massive, unbearable, gut-level pain to putting things off. And you want to start a new habit, like working out? You have to connect incredible, juicy pleasure to doing it.
To show you just how powerful this is, Tony Robbins tells this crazy story. When he was a kid, his mom wanted to teach him a lesson about drinking, so she made him down a bunch of beer until he got incredibly sick. And you know what happened? His brain created this intense, permanent neuroassociation between the smell of beer and the awful pain of throwing up. To this day, he can't stand it. That's the power of conditioning.
That story is pretty extreme, but it proves a point. So the big question is, how do we do that on purpose without the drama? Well, lucky for us, there's a simple, three-step formula for rewiring our own brains to make any change actually stick.
It's got a fancy name, neuroassociative conditioning, or NAC, but don't worry about that. Just think of it like a recipe. You just follow these 3 steps in order, and you can break pretty much any pattern you want. So let's get into it.
Okay, first, you have to get leverage on yourself. This is about getting to the point where changing is an absolute must, not just a should. And you do this by asking yourself some really tough, pain-inducing questions. What is this habit costing you right now? What will it cost you in a year, in 5 years, in your health, your relationships, your finances? You have to feel the pain of not changing so intensely that it becomes totally unacceptable.
All right, once you have that leverage, the moment that old pattern starts to show up, that craving, that negative thought, you have to interrupt it. You have to scramble the signal. Do something totally weird and unexpected. Stand up and yell. Play a ridiculous cartoon sound effect in your head. Snap your fingers hard. The point is to break that neural connection before it can take over.
Now, you can't just break a pattern and leave a vacuum. You have to replace it with something better. Find a new, empowering choice that gives you a sense of pleasure or pride. Then, and this is key, you condition it. You rehearse it over and over in your mind. Feel the joy, the pride, the excitement of making that new choice until that new pathway in your brain becomes the default.
Okay, so now you have this incredible toolkit for changing just about anything. But a toolkit isn't much good if you don't have a project to work on, right? You need a target. This next part is all about creating a future that's so exciting it literally pulls you forward.
And a really compelling future isn't just about one thing. It's about designing a whole life. So you want to set goals in all these different areas. Think about who you want to become. What do you want to achieve in your career, financially? But also, what about the fun stuff, the adventures, the toys, the things that just light you up? And maybe most important of all, how do you want to contribute? How do you want to give back?
And that really brings it all full circle. The life you're living right now is simply a result of the decisions you've made in the past. But the incredible news is that the life you want for your future, well, that can be designed by the new decisions you make starting this very moment. You have the power, and now you have the tools to consciously build the life you really want.
Look, this isn't just interesting information to think about. It's a call to action. So I want to leave you with this one question. Forget about someday. What is the one single decision you are going to make today, right now, that will start to create that destiny you truly want? The power is all yours.